Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Hey, what's up?
I've got a little Neptune High trivia for you.
Yeah?
Did you know that your dad and my mom were king and queen of the prom? Which I guess means they were like a couple or something. Did you know about that?
No. It's weird, huh?
The boy does have a gift for evasiveness. Last year, he broke up with me without so much as an it's over.
What's going on? What's going on is I have lip gloss on my teeth for like all of first period.
Why is Duncan pretending I no longer exist?
Because he's a freak? I don't know, I'm his sister, not his shrink.
It's like he's broken up with me, but hasn't gotten around to telling me yet.
He has been weird the past few days. Maybe his right hand finally said no.
Can you not see I'm really upset about this?
God, Veronica, please, will you stop, okay? He's going through like a phase or something. You two were meant for each other. He's not that stupid. Fine, I'll talk to him.
Thank you.
You know, I don't know what you people would do without me.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to yet another episode of Boys Watching Veronica Mars. We're just two boys watching every episode of Veronica Mars for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We are your hosts. I am Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
And today we're talking about Season 1, Episode 7, titled The Girl Next Door. Directed by Nick Mark, story by Jen Seidel, teleplay by Jen Seidel and Diane Ruggiero. Original air date November 9th, 2004 to an audience of 2.74 million people. And before we get into the episode, everybody, we've got a shout out. This is just what I sound like now. We got a shout out.
Sloppy Joe's taking over the whole podcast.
Sloppy Joe is now just Joe. Shout out to Courtney, sending us a gift from our Amazon wish list. Wish list. Thank you, Courtney. We really appreciate you and your patronage to the boys' entertainment. If you want to get your very own shout out, Apple Podcast 5-star rating, your review, Spotify 5-star rating, take a screenshot of it, send it in, and we will shout you out or get us something off of our Amazon wish list. How you doing, Vance?
I'm good. I slept well last night.
What?
Yeah.
Not allowed.
No.
Not allowed on this podcast.
Went out to a friend's dinner thing last night. That was pretty fun. Yeah. Feeling good. Feeling good.
Would you be doing better if more people joined our Patreon?
I would.
Well, if you want to make Vance feel a little bit better about his life.
Just a little bit.
You want to make me feel a little bit better about my life. Patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy. We are doing Boys Watching Dollhouse. Our movie of the month is Jennifer's Body, as voted on by our Discord users. Also join our Discord. Got a lot of fun stuff going on there. Not for me, though. Found out this week that I am not big.
You put out the poll, and the poll results are in. Not big.
Not big.
You're tall. You're tall, Joe.
I had one last ditch effort. I went to a show and my friend was there and I was talking to him about melatonin. And he was like, yeah, I don't think it does anything. I was like, yeah, I feel like it's because I'm so big. It doesn't work for me. And he went, you're not big. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
he's like, you're tall. You're not big.
I know someone who does melatonin. I didn't even remember this while we were having the talk last episode. But I have a friend who's taller than or just as tall as you who takes melatonin. And every night, for like, he sets a schedule. Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah. But I think that's just like we learned in the Dollhouse episode, body chemistry.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Dollhouse is back to its dollhouse antics this week, everybody. So if you want to hear about that, there is that.
A little more follow-up on last week's episode. We had big debates on Discord over the Aaron Eccles, Logan Eccles era of that.
This was the most poppin' the Discord has been in a while, I feel like.
Yeah. I took a lot of issue with just like what I brought it up last on the podcast, but mostly about like the connection that they were trying to make with Aaron and his dad and how systemic his abuse at home was and like how much his abuse was. Was he like, is Logan like just getting abused for anything he does wrong? Is it just if he makes like a big mistake? And I just think the show narratively set the bar too high with bum fights and $500,000 loss. I was thinking, I brought up, hey, what if he came back home from that homecoming thing and we got a chance to see like his punishment is like way more aggressive than what Veronica and the rest of them. Like, it's just, they set the bar so far for Logan. Like, he did some egregious shit. And it's not like to excuse the dad for like hitting him with the belt and like abuse like that. That's bad. But like, is that dad doing that all the time? Which is implied by the drinking of the mom.
I think that somebody brought up, and I thought this was an interesting point about why he was like so pissed off about the bong thing, because then like he knows that he's going to come home to a good old fashioned ass whooping.
Yeah, but that one, he was worried more about his car. He was worried more about, hell, he took my car away from me. Not like, yeah.
Well, that seems like a normal punishment for a kid that got caught with a bong,
Yeah.
But then he like smashes up Veronica's car. But we also don't see. Yeah. Maybe he was getting.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying
Eccles.
I'm saying the show just set it up in a way where it's like, is this like happening all the time, or is it just like when he's? I don't know. Like, we'll find out more. We didn't find out much more this episode, but we'll find out more down the line. He is getting spanked way too old, and it's a weird situation. Yeah, and it looks weird.
I think that's. I feel like that was like a consensus, like, yeah, he's way too old for this. But
where people stand on like how you hit kids and like punishing kids with like physical abuse and stuff like that. Like, if you're far off, like any spanking is just like too far, too much. Of course, this is bad. Yeah. I just thought when he pushed him on the couch, it was like intimidating, but not like, I would not classify that as like abuse level yet.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I was with you on that.
And that's what I thought, like, and someone brought up.
We also grew up getting hit and spanked. And
stuff. But
someone at 16, 17.
No. And someone brought up that when he's like on the couch looking, maybe it's because he's so used to like, he's like, oh, I'm so used to being abused that he's like surprised that he's not being abused there. But I think narratively, that's a huge leap for us to have to make as an audience watching that for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to make a supercut of like Logan and Aaron going into that room with like the audio from 50 Shades of Grey where it's like, this is my happy place.
Because there's a moment where they try to tease it a little bit in this episode. They don't go far enough with it, but it brought up something that I brought up on Discord about. I'll bring it up once we get to it, but it's just the way the narrative is told that I think just have Logan do something like that a kid would do that like, this is like high school, like tomfoolery, whatever. Not like, hey, I'm organizing bum fights and should probably have like the cops investigate this. And by the way, Dad, I just cost you $500,000. Like, it's such an extreme that's met with another extreme versus like, oh shit, he just like got caught doing graffiti at school and like his dad just like say, get the belt, pick out a good one. It was like, holy shit, dude. So
yeah. Well, we'll see if that comes up some more.
We'll see.
Maybe we'll see him like do some like he like shook a soda can too hard and his dad's like, get the belt.
This isn't cold.
You're drinking milk from the carton.
Yeah.
Get the belt.
Right? Like if he slapped the shit out of Duncan when Duncan did that, like there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I get it. Like it was a very extreme. Logan's doing something very fucked up.
Yeah. That's the thing.
And it's met with like the dad doing something fucked up. Like I feel like we need to have that intimidation factor that Logan's like scared of.
Yeah.
Like any little thing that he does wrong, but then he also just is a shithead and does stuff wrong all the time. So maybe he likes it.
Yeah. Oh, God.
He's a little freak.
And I bring all this up to say, I wanted to make the announcement that we might have some new listeners. Surprise if we do. But some listeners that weren't with us for Buffy that are on here for Veronica Mars. And I wanted to let them know that at the end of every season, we do a bonus episode. And sometimes we put out a questionnaire for people to rank their favorite podcast episode of the season. So you can rate last week's episode as one of your favorites or least favorites. And just, you know, you can, if you want to keep a note of that for the survey at the end of the season. You know, it's hard for us to keep. I have to remind myself to keep track of which episodes are my favorite and least favorite.
Yeah. I feel like because of these, which I'm about to crack open, these Zoas, man.
I almost went with the Zoa today, but I'm still going to go with the Monster.
I looked at my fridge and I was like, I still have so many Zoas.
I think I have 5, and I drink one this week. Full disclosure.
I got the white peach today.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be fucking going full throttle with it, full throttle.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't sleep that well, but you know that's just my life at this point. I think.
So our Instagram user CFam commented on our post and said that we should predict who we think the killer is at the end of every episode.
Okay.
Which I thought was a fun idea.
That's fun.
And we're just going to be wrong a bunch.
Vance Tucker, everybody, has the television intuition that is spooky to me. People started calling him on our Discord Vancilla because he is a clairvoyant. Sometimes he's able to predict things. He can feel things in the air that's going on.
A little Drusilla
way
tie-in
before it
for
happens.
Buffy.
Yeah, and that's from a character from Buffy, Drusilla, who's like a soothsaying vampire. And Vance, this episode, started laying the foundations for some things that you predicted that I was like, I hope not.
I said it was like a non-prediction prediction.
Yeah. As soon as I finished watching this episode, I texted Vance. I was like, Vance, I watched this episode and I am upset.
There was only one reason that you could have that look on your face when someone says something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there's some lines that are so heavy-handed.
Yep.
Oh, Keith.
Yeah, they stopped with the subtlety in this episode.
That's the thing. They're not like, this show's not been subtle ever, really.
Yeah. But, all right. Shall we get into the episode finally?
Yeah, I guess we should say predictions real quick.
Oh, right. Yes.
I said that Veronica's black neighbor from the first episode is back. She is not.
Quite the opposite. The whitest neighbor.
A nice celebrity cameo, though.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cameos, even in Dollhouse. Just a bunch of stuff.
Good shit.
And then you said there'd be a new love interest for Duncan. Veronica would be jealous. More contact from V's mom.
I remember specifically last week making that prediction. I was like, I need to be more specific with my predictions. That's a quick way to heartbreak everybody. It's way off.
I thought the mom was going to make the previously on was giving us everything, and we did get our classic. I used to.
Yep. Duncan Kane used to be my boyfriend. I love that somebody called that out on Discord. I'm sorry, Discord user. I don't know what your username is, but shout out to you for keeping that count going, because it is at like, out of the 7 episodes that we've done, this is like number 6.
Yeah.
And that's because episode 1 didn't have a previously on.
Yeah.
So we get the Duncan Kane used to be my boyfriend, Lilly Kane murder recap, mom meeting potentially with Jake Kane, and Logan busting up Veronica's car recap. So this episode opens with we're going Quentin Tarantino-esque. We did a like, yep, that's me. How did I get here? You're probably wondering how I got myself into this situation. But it's Veronica sitting on the steps. There's an ambulance. There's somebody being stretchered out. And Veronica's like, oh, should I have looked into this? Is this all my fault? A long time ago, we used to be friends, but I haven't thought of you lately at all. Come on now, sugar! And then we get the 1 week earlier. This is the first time that we get a real full scope view of where Veronica lives.
What is this Pleasantville nonsense? People are like watering gardens out front. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's an apartment building that's like on the beach, has a pool. There's like a pool boy doing something. There's a gardener.
Everybody's out and like they're treating it like it's the first sunny day in a town that's all sun. Like our buildings have pools and it's not like active like that.
Yeah, but like everyone's out there. It's like very pastel. Like everything's so bright.
Mm-hmm.
Veronica's going to go do laundry, and she goes to the laundry room, and who pops out of the laundry room but Jessica Chastain?
Mm-hmm.
She's there. She is Veronica's upstairs neighbor, and Veronica is like, "Hey, how's it going?" Her character's name is Sarah. She goes, "How's it going, Sarah? Like, how's life?" And Sarah's like, "It's fucking shitty. Me and my boyfriend are fighting constantly. And my journal disappeared. Somebody stole my journal. I think my boyfriend took it because he's always like so mean to me and all this stuff." And Jessica Chastain has this little dog, little chihuahua named Killer. Cute dog.
Mm-hmm.
Veronica starts.
She's also pregnant.
Killer.
Did we mention that? She's showing. She's showing. She's showing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Sarah's pregnant.
Yeah, she's showing. It's like obvious.
Yeah. So Veronica's like petting the dog and they're having a little like chit chat. My boyfriend might be abusive conversation. And and Sarah's like, "Hey, Veronica, can I ask you a favor?" And Veronica's like, "Sure, what's up?" She's like, will you take me to the doctor's tomorrow? I need to have a doctor appointment and I really need somebody to come with me. And Andre, my deadbeat ass boyfriend, I don't think he'd take me to the doctor. And Veronica's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take you to the doctor."
Painting a hell of a picture of this Andre guy throughout this episode.
I know. This fucking guy.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. So we go to school and Logan's at his locker and the vice principal comes up to Logan and he's like, "Hey, Logan, your dad said that he was going to donate some boots from a famous movie that he did for a fundraiser. And we're going to have it auctioned off and we're going to use the money hopefully to buy like a new scoreboard. But like now I can't get in touch with your dad. Do you think you can get a hold of him?" And Logan's like, "Fuck off, vice principal, narc, bitch." He gives him little deuces and this
is the moment they had a look where it was like, oh, Logan probably doesn't want to ask his dad for those boots, does he? You know, like because of what he's been through.
Oh, I feel like the dad would have.
I know That's what it seemed. That's what I got from it. I didn't get more like he was just trying to screw over the vice principal as much. But maybe. But my thought was like he got the dad to do the Duncan video.
Yeah.
So he definitely has I will go to my dad and ask for favors and who will do it. Not like I just don't want to ever talk to him.
Yeah.
Or like
but they have Logan quipping like a dog.
Oh, this episode, Logan, they went all in. God. He is quippy this whole episode.
They like crammed a season's worth of like Buffy one-liners into one episode with Logan, into one character.
I thought he was going to turn into Spider-Man and just start climbing on the ceilings. He was quipping so much.
Like the opening to the scene is the vice principal coming up to Logan. He's like, Logan, Mr. Eccles, can I have a word? And Logan goes, chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
There, you can have it. I don't know if that's exactly the word.
It was something like that. And then it was like
amethyst or something.
Oh, I need these boots. Are they made for walking?
Not the ones that are made for walking. Oh. Like he's a quote unquote machine.
Yeah.
And if we were doing that, which we're not, boy, we have a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's gunning for fucking Troy's title. In this one episode alone.
Yeah. They got rid of Troy and they were like, we got to get those words somewhere. Someone's got to be saying stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is wild. Like the goofy nonsense they have Logan. Like, and it's supposed to be like played off as snark, but it's just lame, I feel like.
Yeah. It's too much. It's like one or two of those go a lot further than like 15.
And he also just has a very punchable face. Like he
perfect casting, I will say.
Great casting for a little shithead. Like he just looks like a little shithead.
I don't know if I've seen him in anything else. I'm curious about that too.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have. He looks vaguely familiar, but like in one of those, does he look like every white guy in this show way?
Yeah.
But so that's that scene. He doesn't have the boots. We have Miss Dent getting her ear chewed off by some old lady named Evelyn Bugsby.
Yeah, something like that. She's a alumni board member.
Yeah, and she's like putting together a photo display for some kind of class reunion, and Ms. Dent like just shoves this old lady off on Veronica. She's like, "Hey, Veronica, you want to work with this lady?" And Veronica's like, "No." Ms. Dent is like, "Too bad. You have to. I don't like her, and you're a student, so you're doing it."
Like it's so heavy-handed because Veronica says no, and then she's like, "Oh, it's a class of 79," and then Veronica goes, "Class of 79," and then she just gets handed a yearbook. He's like, "Oh, okay, that's gonna be easy."
Yeah, she has to scan a yearbook with all of the like photos that have been tabbed by Ms. Bigsby or Bugsby or whatever. And Veronica sees a picture of her mom in the yearbook and she's like, 79, the year my mom graduated from high school. I wonder what was going on back then. Fantastic.
Is this where she sees the photo of them in it?
She sees a photo of just her mom. Like her mom's senior class
it's later
portrait.
When they do the other one. Got it. Is that in the same book?
Yeah.
Okay, so she just like looked at the book again later. She didn't flip through it all in this one moment like a normal person.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, do you read an entire book in one sitting, Vance? I don't think so.
I think you can skim through some stuff. Like you don't have to,
Especially when there's such an intriguing plot element.
Yeah, right.
But speaking of intriguing plot elements, we have Weevil and Logan in class, and they're taking a test. And Logan keeps looking back at Weevil, and Logan suspects that Weevil's trying to cheat off of him. And Logan's like, "Stop trying to cheat." And Weevil's like, "If I was trying to cheat, I'd try and cheat off of somebody smart." And then the teacher catches him. He's like, "Well, you don't need to cheat anymore because both of you are getting zeros on this test." And then Logan says some shit like, "Oh, I guess Mr. Daniels isn't getting laid at home." And then Weevil starts laughing. Mr. Daniels turns around and he's like, "Oh, that's funny. You think I'm not getting laid? You both got detention."
The teacher also black guy, says to Weevil, "Oh, you're gonna think that's funny when you're older and you're pumping Logan's gas?" And I was like, "Geez, dude." Like,
yeah,
like, whose side are you on?
This isn't New Jersey. We pump our own gas here.
I do love that saying. Like, is there other states where people pump the gas? Like, I know Jersey still had you can't pump your own gas there, but like, I don't know. I guess there has to be other places. We're East Coast people.
Yeah. We grew up in Maryland.
Yes.
We pumped our own gas. We're responsible adults.
Then you drive through Jersey and you go to pump your own gas and you're like, get back in the car.
Yeah,
you're not allowed to touch
this. What do you
this.
think you're doing?
It's like, all right.
Don't touch the pump.
I just like the insult to Weevil is like, oh yeah, you're not going to be anything. But you're going to be pumping Logan's gas because he's good. His dad's
he's going to be something. Even though you both got zeros.
Yeah. Like, all right.
He's a trust fund baby.
Yeah.
So they both get detention, and then we cut straight to them in detention now. And this is the wildest detention that I've ever seen in my life.
It's in the same classroom for budget purposes.
Same classroom, zero supervision.
Mm-hmm.
They just start talking, and Weevil's like, man, I don't get you, Logan. Like, I don't know how you live with yourself. I don't know how you can sleep at night being like such a rich piece of shit and getting away with all this bad stuff. And Logan's like, I don't know how you sleep at night being such a fucking poor piece of shit. And you don't, like, why you even go to high school? Like, your kind isn't going to like do anything in life. And Weevil's like, I promised my grandma that I would go to high school. You know what? Since nobody's in here and we're just kind of hanging out right now, you want to play some cards, bet a bunch of money? And they start playing cards and they got like hundreds of dollars on the table, it looks like.
So I wasn't sure exactly how much it was, but like Weevil runs a bike gang shop mechanic situation. So I feel like he has like that weird amount of money, you know, like definitely more than anyone that isn't from the like top bracket in high school would have. Like he has to be the second richest. Like he's upper middle class.
Maybe I'm just like got broke mentality or whatever. But whenever people carry around a fuckload of cash, it freaks me out. Like I never have cash on me.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot different than early 2000s and now, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they are in high school, so like,
yeah. I mean, and every time you get gifts in high school and stuff, it was always cash. At least back then, like you weren't people. Yeah, but it was like no one was like just wiring you money or something.
Yeah,
no one's PayPaling you back then.
Yeah, Venmo,
Cash App.
Exist.
Yeah,
Cash App. But they start playing cards and they're betting all this money, and then eventually, it seems like this must have been like an hour and a half later. Mr. Daniels comes back and he's like, "What the hell's going on in here?" They're like, "Well, we're just playing a game. Like, what'd you want us to do? Like, you didn't supervise us. We didn't do anything. Like, what do you want?"
I can't even remember detentions, really.
Did you get? Yeah, I was thinking about it after this, and I was like, "What did I do in detention?"
Did I? I think you just sat in a classroom and do like, I feel like I had like it felt like a study hall. You just sit there and you do homework for like half an hour or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can't remember doing that because I played sports after school and you had to go to practice.
I feel like there was, I mean, we might have done some like take out the trash from the school maybe. But I only got detention like once a year. Like, I wasn't in detention a lot.
Like, this detention seems like it's more punishment for the teacher.
Yeah.
Go home, man.
Well, not really, because he wasn't even there. He was just out, like, having a smoke break or some shit.
But if it's after school, like, go home or work on or grade those test papers, right? Like,
yeah. I just couldn't fathom, like, he not being in the room with them and just, leaving them unsupervised. Like, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, based on what we see later on, like, Jesus Christ, these kids are, like, destructive as fuck.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
But
Yeah, Danny Glover comes in and he's all pissed and he's like, "Oh, you think this is fun? You're all in detention for a full week now. Full week of detention for y'all."
This actor's been in a bunch of stuff though. This guy.
Yeah, he was in Discount Lethal Weapon. He was in Discount.
He doesn't look
Angels
that
in the
much like them.
He was in the Athletics in the Outfield. He was
Angels in the outfield? Athletics?
No,
in the
he was in
outfield?
the Athletics, the Oakland Athletics in the outfield. And he was in Not So Lethal Weapon. Flesh Wound Weapon.
I don't think he looks that much like Danny Glover.
He looks like somebody.
I've seen him in some stuff.
I feel like he's always playing a teacher that's pissed, though.
When I first saw him, I thought he was the guy in Gremlins that gets killed in the first Gremlins movie. But he's not him. That guy's the guy from like The Wire, I believe.
So we then go to Veronica, and she is coming home, and she overhears Sarah and Andre fighting again. And Veronica is like looking up from downstairs, and Andre leaves the apartment. He sees Veronica looking up at the fight. And he just kind of like gives her a dirty look, and Veronica does the like, "Oh, I wasn't looking. I didn't hear you screaming at your girlfriend. The whole complex didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Toodles."
Yeah, and apparently Veronica's the only person in this complex that seems to care about the arguing couple, even though it seemed like it looked like they were a commune that worked together in that opening scene. Like that they were running a farm together.
Like it looked like that Don't Worry Darling movie.
Yeah. I was getting like Edward Scissorhands Neighborhood where everything's like cut. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, dude. It looked so idealistic and idyllic
and pastel colored and bright and sunny. And you can have some of my fruit. Oh, can I have some of your fruit? I'll borrow some sugar from you.
Yeah. Can I have a cube of sugar?
Yeah.
But yeah, so then Veronica's like in bed later that night, and she hears Sarah scream, and the scream wakes Veronica up, and then you hear a loud thud, like something fell onto the ground. And Veronica's like, I'll ask my dad about that in the morning.
Yeah, she do it right back to
white
sleep.
Noise machine. Sounds like there's a murder happening upstairs. Let me put on my lo-fi beats to get sleep. Let me put my headphones back on and listen to Such Great Heights again. Take me right to Snoozeville.
She just plays her mom's voice message over and over again. So drown that out.
So it is the next day. It's the morning, and Veronica is making breakfast, and Keith comes in, and he's like, "Morning." And Veronica's like, "Hey, did you hear screaming and a loud thud last night?" And Keith is like, "No. You know me. I could sleep through an earthquake." And Veronica's like, "It sounded like somebody got like dropped, like somebody got knocked out." And Keith is like, "Nah."
Keith is a private investigator, and he heard nothing. He knows he can sleep through anything. This is the guy that's up on the couch knowing what's happening all the time.
Not only can he sleep through anything, is when he's alerted to something like that, he's not curious. He's not like, what did it sound like? He's just like, don't worry about it. They'll figure it out.
I know you solved millions of my cases, Veronica, but this time you don't know what you're talking about.
He's like, am I being paid to investigate that loud thud? I don't think so.
You're being paranoid. This is very Hitchcockian, he says. And I'm like, why? When has she ever been wrong?
Right? I don't know. But he's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. So then Veronica's like, I am a little worried about it, but I have to go take Sarah to this doctor appointment anyway. So I'm going to go investigate anyway. So she goes up to their apartment and she knocks on the door and nobody's answering. Veronica is like, Sarah, you there? And banging on the door. Starts looking through the window and she sees a bunch of stuff inside is broken. Killer is just like on the table, the little dog. He's barking. And there's like a broken lamp on the ground, broken plates, all kinds of crazy shit. I don't know how you didn't hear more of that shit breaking.
I don't know how you just go to school after this.
Right? Or not tell your dad. Like, hey, dad.
They do and say nothing here.
Yep.
We go to a commercial break
to school.
and we're in school. And I was just like, this
she is
insane.
calling Sarah on her cell phone.
Okay.
This is just like when her mom was like, hey, we got to go to Palm Springs. We should leave. And Veronica's like, I got a chemistry test.
She's like, I definitely heard a murder up above me. And the place is wrecked. And she said she had a doctor's appointment and the dog's locked in there with nobody. La 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 la, I can't be late for school.
I don't want to miss the bus, though.
Yeah. But she drives.
Yeah, I know.
She's got a nice car. She's driving around. She's got a nice setup.
Convertible.
Yeah.
So Veronica's at school. She's calling Sarah on her cell phone, and Sarah's not picking up. And then she's like, well, I guess that plot line's over for now. Let me investigate this yearbook project. And this is where she starts flipping through the pages, and she sees a picture of her mother and Jake Kane as the prom king and queen. And they're slow dancing. They're face to face. They're about ready to smooch.
Mm-hmm.
And Veronica's like, wait a fucking minute. And this is when I was like, oh no. Oh no. But I still had hope. I was like, okay, that's a nice little wrinkle. Yeah, we know that they've been meeting up.
Mm-hmm.
There might be something little. They have a history together.
Mm-hmm.
I was still holding out hope.
You hold on to that.
At this point, I was still like, okay, I wonder where this is going. I hope it's not where Vance said it might be going.
It's turning into water in your palms. Like you're trying to grip some ice.
So then we go to one of the most egregiously expository scenes.
Sometimes the show just tells you, it's like no subtlety. Well, we're in a bathroom. We're in a bathroom and we're not with Veronica, without Veronica Mars.
Yep. So we're in the boys' room. Weevil and his crony. I don't think we've gotten this guy's name.
I don't know his name, but I list him as his guy.
Yeah.
His ride or die.
His right-hand man.
Yeah.
His tall henchman. And the henchman's like, man, why is Logan always like fucking with you? Or something. He's like, Logan's always such a piece of shit. It must be because you tapped Lilly Kane's fine white ass. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Well, he says he won't be so like cocky once he finds out that you were tapping Lilly. And then that's when Weevil's like, whoa, it's not like that.
Yeah, he turns around, he's all offended. Mm-hmm. Hey, don't talk about her like that. Don't talk about her like that.
It wasn't like that. And the guy's like, wait, you weren't banging her? Huh? Mm-hmm. Like, and then we never really, he doesn't say that, but we never get the full scope of their relationship.
I think it was Weevil was in love. He was tapping that fine white ass, but it's not just tapping. She's tapping at his heartstrings.
If he was hooking up with Lilly, that'd be, I know that's what like is kind of like out there, but I think there might be something different to it. Because they already had the Chardo. They already had the Chardo. They already had the Chardo. Chardo with
But based on what we see later, maybe a little like Romeo and Juliet situation.
Yeah, but wouldn't that just be the Chardo and what's her name?
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton. Yeah. Wouldn't that be the same story, just two different people?
I mean, why not stick to the classics?
That grandma's gonna be like, what did I do?
Yeah.
I sent you to that school, but I didn't want you to really go with anyone there.
Can I say too, based on what we've seen of Lilly Kane,
this doesn't add up to me. Also because of that.
Yeah, I'm just like, why would anybody like her? She's like a fucking asshole, dude. I get why the parents took her out, dude. I get it. She fucking sucks, dude.
I love we're having debates on like Aaron Eccles abuse levels. Meanwhile, you're just like, yeah, they should have taken her out.
Yes. God. She sucks. Yeah, extreme. Yeah, Aaron Eccles, what he's doing is extreme.
Yeah.
But Lilly Kane, like, I mean, she was a fucking asshole.
You can't hit Logan with a belt, but like Lilly Kane is talking back to her mom. Take her out.
Well, that's also the thing is like, wouldn't that be the same story as like, you know, Logan causing a public embarrassment with Aaron, and then it could be Lilly causing a public embarrassment with the Kane family? Like, it's the same story too. Just handled a little differently. Maybe that's what bonded Lilly and Logan.
And they had Weevil. And they had Weevil do the murder. He was the hit.
Yeah. Weevil had to take her out.
I don't know.
But yeah,
it's gonna be. I think there's something more to the Weevil thing than him just like having. I think there's something more to it than just hooking up and being in love.
I think they were in love.
Okay, I'm gonna say there might be like some love, some affection, but I think it's another layer to it.
All right. So then Veronica Mars meets up with Duncan, Robo Duncan, and she's like, "Hey, Duncan." He's just staring at the ground. Mm-hmm. He's like, "What's up?" She's like, "Did you know that my mom and your dad were prom king and queen? They went to prom together?" And Duncan's like, "Whoa, crazy." He just walks away.
Yeah, he fucking no-sells the shit out of it.
Whoa, no way.
I love that there's like a triggers an immediate flashback too.
Yeah. And it's a flashback to Duncan. I won't even say dumping Veronica. He just like no contacts her out of nowhere, apparently.
Yeah, and this is Veronica talking to Lilly, like, "Hey, Duncan's giving me the cold shoulder, and I feel like we're broken up without him giving me the memo that we're broken up." And Lilly does not seem like a good friend here. She's like, "I don't know. He's just blah blah blah." You know, he's just going through some stuff.
Duncan, he's weird. Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
And Veronica's like, "No, I'm feeling like pretty heartbroken. Like, it's your brother. You live with him. Like, what's going on?" And Lily's like, "I don't fucking know, dude. Like, leave me alone. He's fucking like, there's a billion other guys out there for you."
But then
Veronica's like,
yeah, at the end, she's like, "Fine, I'll find out for you." And it's like,
yeah.
Are you
what
guys
would you all
friends?
do without me?
Yeah, like, are you
fucking probably live happy lives? That's why you got taken out.
Joe Welke has said that. That is Joe Welke speaking.
Probably a lot happier without you, you fucking asshole.
God. I will say Logan and Lilly seem like a perfect nightmare pairing of people.
Absolutely. Yeah, when I'm talking about like why would anyone date Lilly, I was more thinking about like why would Weevil be interested in her? Because Weevil seems like he's got like values and deep morals and shit, and like he has like a code, and Logan's like all anarchy, and Lilly is
jumping
like
people on the side of the beach.
Yeah. It's a code. It's a code.
It's a code. I don't know what his
but like
I don't know what
Logan
his girl code is.
Logan and Lilly, they're just fucking chaos.
Yeah. I do like that they always show that clip of Weevil telling Veronica that thinks she's like for everyone else, but she's still an 09er. Yeah. And I couldn't help think about that when she voted for Duncan last episode. Like,
yeah.
She really is, man.
So then we have Logan and Weevil. They have been tasked with cleaning Mr. Daniels' car. And I was like, this is an abuse of detention power right here. And they start cleaning his car. And then Weevil's like, "Hey, man." Oh, no, that's not here.
Yeah.
This is like a short, really weird scene.
Yeah, just to make fun of this is literally a scene to set up that he has a car and what the car looks like. That's what the scene is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Weevil scenes that are like, "Hey, Weevil, remember the Lilly Kane thing?" Okay, that's set up. "Hey, clean my car." Okay, the car's established.
Yep. Even his parking space is established.
Yeah. They have to establish that whole moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're cleaning his car. So then Veronica, she goes looking for Sarah. Sarah didn't show up to work. And her coworker is annoyed with Sarah because she's always talking about Andre and how much of a piece of shit Andre is. And Veronica's like, well, do you know where she might be? And the coworker's like, no, but I'm also concerned as well. Like, I'm worried about Sarah. This is the first time she's never shown up to work. And you're like, oh, this guy, what's up with this guy?
I was like, he sounds a little jealous. That's what I wrote.
Yeah, I was like, this guy, he's a little... I thought he was gay at first. Like, he was giving off gay vibes to me.
He was giving that off too, and he could be. There's nothing that says that he isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be bi.
Yeah.
Could be pan. Could be all.
Yeah.
It's all fluid.
Definitely sounded like he was jealous of Andre, though.
Oh, yeah. How
nice
could you not be?
Nice little red herring, maybe.
Yeah. So Veronica is like, all right, well, I'm going to go fucking snooping around and go looking for Andre at his little artist studio loft space. So she goes there, she's snooping around, and then eventually she finds him, and she's like, where's Sarah? He's like, I don't know. Have you seen her? I haven't seen her in a long time.
She's always running away.
Yeah.
Like,
He's all annoyed that Sarah's gone. He's like, oh, it's typical Sarah. We got into one little fight, and her mom gets scared. Said, what's your answer? You know, but yeah, this is Sarah's go-to move. She packs her bags and she runs off for a little bit, and she'll be back. Just like, this is like the zillionth time this has happened. Fuck, I'm just gonna paint.
Yeah, and he's like real ass, like just so over the top asshole right here.
Yeah, to Veronica,
Yeah.
He's just like, dude, get out of my face. Veronica's like, what was the fight about? And then Andre tells her that Sarah was pregnant, and Sarah was going to tell her mom that she was pregnant, but then she ran off or something
Sarah's
like that?
mom didn't know she was pregnant, and the argument they were having earlier was because Andre told her mom that she was pregnant.
Oh, okay.
And this is in my notes where I wrote, Sarah's on the run from her mom. Like no other reason for her to be super upset that someone told the mom. That was my first thought when that happened.
So Andre then tells Veronica, hey, don't worry about it. She always runs off, and then she comes back. And then Veronica's like, no, I am worried about it. And then Andre's like, you're paranoid. Stop being worried. And then Veronica's like, well, I want you to know, by the way, that my dad... Do you know who my dad is? He's the disgraced sheriff.
Yeah, and he still has connections in this town. I was like, does he? I mean, maybe he has some.
He knows that German lady, I guess.
I mean, he's got that firefighter that will commit fraud for him, for his daughter.
That is true. He's got the guidance counselor. Guidance counselor was real stoked to be around him.
Yeah. That was a short-lived little thing. I wonder if that's coming back.
Definitely not.
They gave him a love interest for like a real short minute. But then this model, this lady walks out in a robe.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of just doesn't react as if Veronica's really there. And it has this like...
That was the strangest fucking shit ever, dude.
It's so
like,
forced to make it seem like Andre's just like a philanderer sleeping around. Like she comes out and she's all like, looks at Veronica. It's like, oh, where do you want me? And she starts stripping and getting into position, and he gets behind the easel and is like, I think we're done here, Veronica. And I was like, that's not like, I went to an art school. Like people did new drawings and paintings and stuff. The people weren't like that.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, I'll wait for you to be finished with your conversation and then I'll pose. Like,
yeah, you don't just like disrobe in front of a teenager.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and
That's so weird.
Or like not even say, "Oh, who is this? Hi, I'm blah blah." Like it's just set up to make it seem like it's more insidious than it needs to be.
Absolutely, and that bothered me.
It's so leading.
It was so annoying.
He is such an asshole to her too. Like.
Yeah, like for no reason.
I could understand if he was an asshole to her later when he finds her. But like here it's like Veronica hasn't been bothering you for weeks or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's fucking that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And Veronica leaves. Veronica's like shocked. Like, oh my God, there's a naked lady in there. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm going to have to dress up like a anime girl and try to...
Could do another sting operation as an anime girl.
Let me put on that red dress and see if I can get this con artist.
So yeah, Veronica leaves. Andre's left there painting his nude model. So then Veronica's at her apartment late at night and she hears Killer barking. And Veronica's like, oh, dogs always know what's up.
This was crazy to me that they own a dog. They have a dog. And that Veronica wouldn't break into the apartment to at least feed the dog. It has been the whole day.
Maybe Andre fed the dog.
If you went upstairs and saw like the place was still like wrecked, I don't know. It just felt like, I don't know. I didn't even know Andre lived there, actually. I thought it was her place. I thought Andre lived somewhere else and they were like...
Oh, you thought Andre was just like visiting her?
Yeah. It didn't seem like he lived there. Because every time we saw him, he was like leaving. She was like, oh, I need a ride to the hospital in the morning. It wasn't like he woke up. Like it wasn't like he lived there, woke up, he could drive her. He's like, oh no, I got to get to my art studio at like 6 a.m. You know how we artists do for painting.
Yeah, we wake up way early.
Yeah. So I thought she like lived there and she had a boyfriend. I don't know.
Well, Veronica hears the dog barking. She's like, dogs always know. I got to go investigate. So she goes and she breaks into Sarah's apartment through the window and climbs through. Nobody
did she open the door?
She tried to, but the door was locked. She had like a little knife or something. Like it looked like she was going to try and pick the lock.
Yeah, she picked locked before. Like that's how she got into the Silicon Mafia's room, right? Or something like that.
Well,
oh no, she got the key for that one. But yeah, I've seen her break into stuff.
She just climbs through the window in this one.
Yeah.
And she starts snooping around. She finds Killer. She picks up Killer. She's like, hey there, boy. And she goes into Sarah's room. She finds Sarah's cell phone. She sees that, like, all the missed calls. Meanwhile, Andre is almost home. He's pulling up and he starts walking up the stairs and the tension is high. Oh, and then Veronica opens another drawer and she finds a gun in the drawer. Oh, God, he's at the door now. Oh, Jesus Christ. And then Andre comes in. Veronica decides to hide in the shower. Killer starts barking.
Yeah, she's holding the dog.
Yeah. And Andre's like, Killer? Killer? And then Veronica just comes out of the bathroom and she's like, hi. And Andre's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And she's like, I don't know. I heard the dog barking and the door was unlocked. I came to check on the dog. And Andre's like, I never leave my door unlocked. That would never happen. And then Veronica goes, maybe Sarah did it. Does that sound like something that might be possible?
Is that enough to get me out of this situation?
And then Andre's like, look, dude, I don't know what the fuck your deal is, but stay out of my business. Don't break into my apartment. Like, it's my dog. It's fine. Don't come snooping around. And Veronica's like, okay, fine. Bye. And she leaves.
I honestly feel like this is the first time this guy's been home since this morning. And that dog should have pissed and shit all over that apartment. Yeah.
When I was living in New York, I was like so close to getting a dog. And then I was like, wait a minute. I go out to work from 9 to 5. And then after that, I was doing stand up until like 11 at night. I was like, I'd be the worst dog owner in the world.
Yeah. That's why I was just like, that dog is like miserable there.
Yeah. Yeah. So Andre's mean to Veronica again for breaking into his apartment.
That's when I can say, like, all right, this is a little too much. You could be a little pissed off that she's like bothering you at the studio. But here, when she's in your apartment, it's like, this is too much.
Yeah. Like I was like, yeah, Veronica, you're definitely in the wrong here.
But I was with you where you thought like she was just going to let the dog go and like let the dog run out and then try to sneak out and then try to sneak out some other way. But why even hide? Like, why even hide?
Exactly. Why bother hiding?
The hiding was like for 2 seconds, and then she was just going to go out.
Yeah, I thought that she was going to let the dog go, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta take a shit." And he goes to the bathroom, and they have like a clear shower curtain, and she's just standing there like, as still as maybe you won't notice me if I'm as still as possible.
Maybe she drops down into the tub,
Oh, yeah, that move.
Because are they trying to do like a little rear window vibe here? Like, I know they mentioned the Hitchcock earlier.
The woman watching across the street from the window or whatever that
is great
Netflix thing that she was in.
Yeah, I never remember the title, but I watched the first episode of that again recently, and it is so good.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, why'd you even bother hiding if the guy's like, kill her? And she's like, okay, fine, I'm here.
Got me. I never thought you'd call your dog's name.
But yeah, so Veronica leaves. Andre's pissed. Then we go to the old lady, Bugsby. They're looking through old pictures again, and Veronica asks this old lady about her mom, and the old lady is like, "Oh my God, you and your mom! I should have known that was your mom. You guys look so much alike." Well, your mom and Jake Kane, whew, not only were they a couple, they were the couple in high school. They were prom king and queen. They got along famously. And my God, it was like a fucking movie. Every time they walked in, all of us were starstruck. We were just like, oh my God, it's Jake. And whatever Veronica's mom's name is, I can't believe it.
Leanne Reynolds.
Yeah. And Veronica's like, huh. Okay, interesting.
Does this lady say at one point, of course they were a couple, you wouldn't be here? Like, she says that to Veronica, like she thinks Veronica is there.
I think she says something the opposite of that, where it's like, thank God they weren't, because if they were still a couple, like, because she says something like, we all thought they were going to get married, but thank God they didn't, because then you wouldn't be here.
Okay, that's what she says. Okay, because I was like really confused. I thought she didn't realize that Jake Kane had married someone else, and I was like, he runs the town. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That was it.
She was like, thank God they didn't get married. But this triggers a flashback, because Veronica's like, I was a part of a perfect couple, and everyone thought that we were going to be married and perfect for forever. And it's a flashback of Veronica asking Lilly about Duncan some more. And Lily's like, just move on, dude. This guy's a piece of shit.
This one I understood, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was like Lilly definitely covering for some kind of fucked up shit that's going on.
Yeah, she's like, you don't want to find some, Logan, I can loan you Logan.
We can share.
Yeah.
We can share that punchable face fuck ass. But yeah, Veronica's like, no, what did Duncan say? You talked to Duncan, right? Like, what did he say? Why are we breaking up? And Lily's like, don't worry about it. Just know that he sucks, and like there's a zillion other guys out there, and Duncan needs some time alone, and like you don't need him. And then
don't tell too many people about that time I kissed you in the homecoming thing too. Like let's not even talk about that either ever again, because that's also now getting weird.
And then Veronica's like, no, for real, like what's going on? And then like the snarkiness and tomfoolery stops for like 1.5 seconds. And Lilly goes, Veronica, do you trust me? And Veronica's like, yeah. And then Lily's like, just drop it.
Yeah.
And then she like goes back to her like bouncy personality, and she's like, it's for the best. Like, you deserve better. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
And it was a cool transition of her watching her younger self run into the bathroom. And then it flashes right back to present when she turns in the foreground, and it goes back to normal color.
That was a very cool transition.
Yeah.
It's like Veronica looking back at a movie of her life or whatever. It was very cool.
And she's like, that's the bathroom where I'm going to have all of my investigations happen later.
Yeah, little did I know that bathroom would become so influential in my life.
Yeah.
And then, present day Veronica's still looking at like a folder of the pictures of the, fucking prom shit. So then we have Weevil and Logan. They're in detention again, and Mr. Daniels is having them alphabetize all of his books. and they both bond over hating Mr. Daniels. And then Weevil's like, hey man, I just thought of something. I got a plan. And Logan's like, let me hear your plan. And Weevil's like, okay, it's going to be a really fun and difficult, almost impossible to pull off plan, but here we go.
We're not doing quote unquote.
Of course not.
There's so many quips in this. There's so much stuff in this like scene.
Well, it's also not even just the quotes. It's what are their accents?
Here's another. Okay, before we don't get into the quote unquote. Yeah. This scene is so orange that I thought we were in another dream sequence fan. The coloring on this scene, I guess they were trying to go like it's late and the sun's setting or something, but it is just orange sepia tone. Way too like the color's so
they took the
stark.
Saturation and like cranked it to the max.
I was like,
it
what
looked
is
like
this
a fucking
color?
CSI Miami episode,
right? Yeah. But Weevil asks, he's like, I don't know if you have the cojones to pull it off. And then Logan says, never underestimate the size of my cojones, and winks. And it is gross.
Yeah. That was so weird. Like, I could see him saying the never underestimate the size of my cojones, but the wink at the end, like, they hate each other.
If Weevil would have slapped him after he winked, it was like, don't wink at me.
Yeah.
Also, I don't even understand this plan.
I don't understand how this plan happens.
I don't understand how this plan happens, and I don't understand Logan's part in this plan happening.
Me neither. How did he do what did he do?
What is it? It's if they both do it, like how I need to know why.
Based on my logic leap and suspending my disbelief and like trying to piece it together in my head, Logan plays no part in this plan whatsoever.
None.
But the first inkling of the plan is Mr. Daniels goes outside to his parking space and his car is gone. And he's like, what the hell? What the hell is this? I'm surprised somebody didn't go, dude, or he didn't go, dude, where's my car?
Well, that would have been Veronica. They've already used that joke already.
Yeah. But I wouldn't put it past the show to do another. You know what I'm surprised and I'm happy about? They haven't returned to Who's Your Daddy?
There's another thing that happened in this episode that made me go, well, Keith.
Yeah. Keith. Whew. But now, that Who's Your Daddy quote from episode 1, getting more salient.
True. It's not a joke. It's like a real big question mark.
Yeah. Little did we know they were setting it up from episode 1. We thought it was just a cringe joke.
That Discord spoiler chat must be going wild.
Oh, dude, they must have been all over Vancilla again. But so we then go to Veronica coming home from school to her apartment building, and she sees that Sarah's parents are asking Andre where Sarah is. And Andre's like, I don't know. She like skipped town or something. She left. I haven't seen her since yesterday or whatever. And Veronica's like overhearing all this. She's kind of like listening in. And then the parents are leaving, and Veronica's like goes up to them and she's like, hey, I know that your daughter's missing. I'm worried about her too. My dad is a private investigator. He's great at finding people. Here's his card if you want to like do some looking into it. And the parents are like, oh, that's very nice, young lady. Thank you. Now, I got to say, the dude, the stepfather, I recognized him immediately. And this is going to be a deep cut. I'm pulling out my Vance Tucker bag here of recognizing somebody. The stepfather was in General Hospital as a character named Mac Scorpio.
Oh, wow. I never watched General Hospital.
It was the soap opera my mom fucking was always watching. And I was like, is that fucking Max Scorpio? He had daughters in the show. I think he was a cop. But I was like, no fucking way. I recognize that guy. He is so handsome. He is such a handsome guy. And he has this like nice curly hair. Good looking dude, man.
Yeah, he didn't. I paid no real attention to him.
Well, you should have.
Yeah, I just
because he is a piece of shit in this show. But anyway. So Mr. Daniels is showing up to school the next day. He got a ride with some other teacher, and he's like, hey, thanks for giving me a ride. You know, my car has been missing. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, they played that up a lot, like this other teacher thing and him getting a ride. I was like, that's a lot of introduction of...
Yeah, that must have been like the writer's wife or something. Like, yeah, I'll give you a part. And she's like, oh, no problem, Mr. Daniels. Hope that you find your car.
Remember in that one Buffy episode where they focused on that teacher and we were like, he has to be something? Like it was a shot down the hallway and it never turned into anything.
Yeah, there were a couple of times with that.
And I was feeling like this was something like maybe this other teacher that's setting up to like build the like staff of the school up a little bit more, but he could have just showed up. He could have got out of a car or a taxi or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but they start walking to the quad and kids are raising up their flag, the American flag and some other flag.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Daniels was like, what the hell is all this? What's the commotion? And everyone's laughing and cheering. And he goes and he's like, all right, everybody, clear out. Everybody go to class. And then all the kids start to clear out. Is there such a thing as like a visual quote unquote? Because I don't understand.
I don't know. Paint the picture, Joe. Paint the picture.
So Mr. Daniels walks over to the flagpole and he finds his car has been like kebab skewered on, like the flagpole is going through his car.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the hell is this? And I was even like, I mean, we gotta give it up. Be like,
yeah.
Like, how does that happen?
It's not like it's an object that you can just like get a ladder and pick it up and then drop it down on the pole. Like this would take like machinery, a crane,
giant magnet or something.
Like it's not even like you could see that the car's like ripped apart and put back together. Like, so it's just like we built the car back around it or something. It's like it's just skewered on it.
Yeah. The flagpole is going through Mr. Daniels' car. And like, it's a small car.
It's a small car, but this is like a 20, 25 foot tall flagpole, 30 foot maybe. Yeah.
And Mr. Daniels is looking at it. He's flabbergasted, my dudes. Mm-hmm. And I would be too.
I would be more impressed.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, this is Ron Burgundy. Like, I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed.
I'd also be happy that the car's back for insurance purposes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Take some pictures of that.
Yeah.
With your flip phone.
Insurance would be like, well, we don't cover flagpoles. And here's 5 points on your license too.
Your rates are going up too, buddy.
We counted in Neptune there are at least 120 flagpoles, and we can't trust you to be
But dude, what an impressive
So when Weevil says,
it's like an art installation at this point.
So when Weevil says, hey, I got an idea, but I don't know if you have the cojones for it. And Logan's like, I got the cojones. Let's do it. What are their roles?
Yeah. I could understand. Here's my logic leap here.
Okay.
So Weevil knows the chop shop people. Mm-hmm. Chop shop people could get like a crane or like a giant fucking, I don't know, and then lift the car up and put it. But like they have to do it. How did they steal the car and put it there that fast without anyone noticing?
So they would have had to steal the car during the day because it's like after school that the car's gone. And then at night would have had to come and like crane lift this thing up, drop it down over top of the flagpole, like cut a hole through the bottom of it, drop it through the. I mean, it would be so loud too. Like those.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe that was
so
the
loud.
thud that woke Veronica up because it had to like.
No, that was before this. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I know. But I
That's
mean,
gotta
like,
be so fucking loud though.
and then also like, what is Logan's role in this? Paying.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, I don't understand Logan's role. Maybe he could have fronted the money to get the crane operator or something.
I feel like you have to kind of explain something. The show can't just show the card. Like, I don't know, and we'll talk more about it later. But
It's such
you
an
gotta
insane
explain.
prank.
Yeah.
So then we get Weevil walking around school, and he's approached by the vice principal with security. Security's with him. He's like, "Excuse me, Mr. Weevil. You got something to talk about with Mr. Daniels' car?" And Weevil's like, "I don't know nothing about nothing." And they're like, "We have a witness that puts you at the scene of the crime." And then they're like, "Come to my office." And Weevil starts walking to the office, and he passes by Logan, and they do like a little head nod to each other, like, yeah. And I was like, what?
So 2 things here. One, this is the funniest looking acting security guard ever. I love this guy's look.
He looks like an old Irish, he's going to have a shillelagh or something.
He's got that
you put a
Family
car
Guy.
on the pot?
He's got that Family Guy. Oh, you want to fight about it? Big whoop. Want to fight about it? He got that look to him. And when Weevil and Logan shared this look, my thought went back to, hey, why are you in high school anyway? Oh, I'm just doing it for my grandma. And I was like, oh, is this planned so that Weevil can get kicked out so he doesn't have to go to school? But then I was like, that wouldn't make his grandma any happier. So why would he do this? And it's like, is Logan going to help you get out of trouble here? What's that nod? What is the plan? I was like, oh, here's the plan. Like, he was like, I'm going to do this thing, but then wait, maybe the plan is what happens at the end. Maybe that's the whole game. But it doesn't feel like it because there's another scene that made it more questionable.
Yeah. It's
Weevil's plan, and Weevil doesn't know anything about the thing that happens later. Or yeah. So what is that nod?
I don't know, man. But they bring Weevil into the office, and they're like, who helped you? Who helped you do this? We know you couldn't do this on your own. And Weevil's like, I don't know nothing about nothing. Why don't you ask the witness? You say you have a witness. Mm-hmm. Why don't you ask them? And then Mr. Daniels like, who the fuck helped you, you piece of shit, you bald 25-year-old tattooed high schooler?
This who helped you thing makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be like, who did this, right? And then they think they know it's Weevil.
How'd you do this?
But then why did they like, who helped you? Who was the second person? And you have Weevil, who has been spending a week in detention with the other troublemaker in school. And they don't even question. There's not even a question of Logan, and they had to pit them together and see if they can get them to spill their guts. Then you realize they don't spill their guts. They try to pit them against each other and fuck. We had these 2 antagonizing forces, and now we kind of put them together, and now we got double the trouble. That's what I thought we were going to get. I thought they were going to it would be like a montage of them questioning Logan. He doesn't give them anything. Weevil doesn't give them anything. They don't even have any proof. They talk about a witness, and I think they're making that up.
They're definitely making that up.
So why aren't they questioning Logan too? Why did they just question Weevil? Why are they not even questioning Weevil's friends that are his other guy?
Fucking as we see in the next scene, Vance, they wouldn't question Logan.
It just
so yeah. End of this scene is the vice principal expels Weevil from high school. So you're no longer allowed here. I was like, this isn't just expulsion. This is criminal crazy. You're going to jail.
Oh, what about my car?
You right? This is jail time, dude.
There's so much car damage in this show. Wanda's car getting spray painted. Don't worry, come over to my place. We'll you can paint your nails and we'll make some signs. It's my car's been ruined.
Veronica's car got bashed up. Mm-hmm. Logan's car got taken away.
Wow. I bet you the teacher has to take his car to Weevil's cousin's body shop.
Veronica also was dealing with 2 flat tires within 2 weeks as well. Can't forget that.
Hey, but Troy knows how to change a tire.
Troy's car got stolen.
Not
for
really.
a little bit, but not really. Oh, man. But yeah, Weevil got expelled. Oh, no. Does that mean I can't try out for the soccer team?
Is he okay with getting expelled? Was this the plan?
I don't know what the plan is at all, Vance.
Like, getting expelled seems like that would make your grandma pissed.
Yes.
And he just takes it like, all right, whatever.
So the next scene opens up a whole other can of worms with this plan.
Yeah.
Because Duncan and Logan are like, they're seeing Weevil getting escorted out by security. And Duncan's like, man, it's crazy. Weevil got expelled. And Logan's like, yeah, our people don't get expelled or something.
No, what happens is Logan says, I didn't know they expelled people at our school. And Ryan Hansen in the bag goes, well, not our people. Damn, Ryan H. Like, jeez, dude. And he's later like, if I see him selling oranges outside my house, like, oh boy.
Yeah.
This
is the moment. This is the moment where it looked like Logan had the idea of like,
oh, I didn't know it was going to go this far. I didn't know that wrecking a teacher's car would get someone expelled.
Well, no, my idea, like where he's looking at Weevil getting kicked out and Logan's like, our people don't get expelled. I wonder how far I could push this. Like that was the idea that it looked like was like tinkering around in his head to me.
No, I think he was saying our people, like they're not going to expel us.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're not going to expel us. So let me see how much shit I can get away with before I like.
I think he already knew that. Like that's why he said I didn't think they expelled people. You know, like he already knew that he couldn't get in trouble, that he was already out, and that's why. And Ryan saying that is just an extra, like they are only punished to like expel the poorer people. I don't think this was like Logan being like. I don't think Logan hears that and goes, "Oh, let me push the envelope even further." I don't think he even needs that. I mean, he was running bum fights. Like he doesn't need any more. Like,
but that's not on school property.
he would definitely, if he could get access to the gym, have that be in the gym.
Yeah. He could have like nerd fights.
Yeah.
Just give nerds money and like, yeah, you want a new PS2 or whatever it was in 2004?
I mean, he's possibly like slashing Veronica's tires in the parking lot. So like he's, you know.
Do they not have cameras at this school? My high school had cameras in 2004.
Did they check the cameras for everything?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with you. And I feel like this scene was like Logan getting let me see how far I can push this.
I don't.
All right.
I don't think that. Well, he doesn't go to push it any.
I mean, my track record is pretty bad with this kind of stuff. So you're probably right, but that's what I got.
I think this is I think this is the social commentary moment of the episode.
Fair enough. So we then go to Sarah's mom talking to Keith about how Sarah is like, she's changed so much and she's missing. And a while ago, Sarah was angry because her mom remarried Max Scorpio and she didn't want her mom to like remarry. And that was the day that Sarah just like took off. Just one day, she was so mad. And the stepdad's like reassuring the mom. She's like, hey, Sarah, you didn't do anything wrong. And it was okay, you know, that you married me because I'm dope as fuck and handsome as shit.
Mom's like, no, Sarah's a tramp.
And then Keith is like, I'll do everything in my power to find Sarah. And it's going to be fine.
He says, I'll do what I can. And I was like, that does not sound reassuring at all. And he looks so tiny in that chair and the desk. He looks so small.
You're absolutely right. That chair looks way too big.
It looks like a little kid playing detective. I was like, what?
Something about Keith just is not working for me, man. Like his acting choices, like the way that they like portray him is so weird.
I think I get why they're portraying him this way now, but it's weird because he's like oddly competent.
Yeah, like
But-
we saw that when he went to that security thing to find Troy's car, like he did play it up well, and like he intimidated the lady. And
No, I mean, like even the end of this episode, like he's bringing in like escaped murderers and stuff. Like he's solving cases. Like he's capable of what he does. But man, just in these scenes, it's just like, I'll do it. He has this weird smirk on his face, like, I'll do what I can.
I just can't get it out of my head. The one time a couple episodes ago when you said he has a big Charlie Brown head, like I can't not see that anymore. It's such
true.
a good fucking call. I was like, oh, Vance.
It's true.
So yeah, Keith's going to do his best to find Sarah. And Veronica and Keith are at home now, and they're talking, and Veronica's like, I still think Andre knows something. I'm still suspicious of that guy because he was kind of a piece of shit to me.
Because he's over the top bad guy right now.
Yeah. And Keith is like, don't worry about it, Veronica. I'm handling the case from here on out. And Veronica's like, no, but I want it. Like, Sarah's my friend. And Keith's like, she's not your friend. You just see her in the laundry room every once in a while.
You know what happens to your friends.
Yeah. And Veronica's like, no, I want to help. I want to help this case. And Keith is like, look, Veronica, I've dealt with a zillion cases like this where there's like a potentially abusive boyfriend. Never ends well. And I don't want you seeing that. So just drop it, please.
You don't wake up dreaming of McDonald's fries. You wake up dreaming of McDonald's hash browns. McDonald's breakfast comes first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Your data is like gold to hackers. They're selling your passwords, bank details, and private messages. McAfee helps stop them. Secure VPN keeps your online activity private. AI-powered text scam detector spots phishing attempts instantly. And with award-winning antivirus, you get top-tier hacker protection. Plus, you'll get up to $2 million in identity theft coverage, all for just $39.99 for your first year. Visit McAfee.com. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
This is a crazy, crazy comeback from commercial moment for me.
Yeah.
And how many cases, how long has he been a private detective? I guess he's been a sheriff, so he's seen a bunch of these. So, yeah.
Yeah. So this is like we go to commercial at the end of the scene where Keith is like, I'm worried about you. I don't want you seeing what happens in this case. Like you're not on this case. We come back from commercial. Veronica's in the bathroom and she goes, so my dad's letting me work on the case.
Yeah. My dad said I can work on the case as long as I promise to steer clear of Andre, my upstairs neighbor. I was like, yo, what changed between that scene and the next day of school? What changed, dude?
So Veronica does her little sleuthing around. She calls Sarah's doctor and she puts on,
Insane. This is just insane.
Yeah, this is crazy. And she calls Sarah's doctor and she's like, hi, it's me, Sarah. All female voices are indistinguishable from one another. I just wanted to get my test results over the phone. Like I can't come in to get them. Like, can you give me the test results of the tests that I did not go to yesterday?
It's like the DNA results.
Yeah. And it turns out the baby that Sarah is carrying is not Andre's. Dun, dun, dun. Plot thickens.
Just HIPAA violations like crazy here.
Yep. But yeah, big reveal. Andre's not the father.
Interesting that Veronica didn't go to the hospital after to look for her on her way to school.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, it doesn't matter, but
yeah. But I mean, Veronica is in the bathroom. She is in her office.
She is in her office. Not a phone call you can make on the quad from your car. This is a bathroom phone call.
Well, or, the quad's out in the open. She drives a convertible. Anybody could hear that.
Yeah, the acoustics, are so much better in the bathroom when you're calling to pretend to be someone else.
Yeah, it's perfect. You get to hear the question Veronica asks twice.
Yeah.
With the acoustics in the bathroom. But so then we have Logan. He's going to the vice principal's office, and Logan's like, I can't believe Weevil. I can't believe that he gets all the credit for that fucking car prank. That's crazy. And then the vice principal's like, are you confessing to having something to do with that? And Logan's like, I don't know. I'm just jealous of his legendary status on campus now, like as if he did it all by himself. And the vice principal's like, so did you have something to do with it? And Logan's like, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But yeah, I'm definitely hinting that I did. But you're not going to say shit because I'm going to prop up the boots that you were asking about. I completely forgot about the whole boots.
I forgot about the boots until he kicked his feet up on the table. And I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah, when he kicked his feet up on the table and he was wearing the boots, I was like, he wouldn't wear those boots. And then it took me a second to be like, oh, these are the boots from fucking 40 minutes ago in this episode.
Well, that's not that crazy.
It's insane, Vance.
You're like, you go to a 2-hour movie and they call something back from the first act. What are they doing?
Yeah, it's nuts. That's why movies consistently blow my mind.
If everybody wanted some fashion corner, that's the closest you're going to get from Joe, because he can't make fun of this era's fashion or comment on it for some reason.
I mean, Veronica's outfits all throughout this episode are fucking insane, dude.
Take a moment to talk about them, buddy. People love it.
I'll talk about some fashion moments in Dollhouse this week.
Oh boy, you're putting it on the Patreon. Got it.
Fucking Dollhouses. Oh God.
You're talking about her friend group?
Dude, I'm talking about Dollhouse.
Okay.
The doll.
It's a wacky episode. It's a wacky episode. Oh, yeah. Her outfit is not what you'd be running around in.
No.
I got some thoughts
but
on that.
Veronica's outfits in this. Oof. But anyway, it's the boots that the vice principal wanted for the auction. And so it's like it seems like Logan to me is like testing, like, how much can I get away with without getting expelled?
I don't think so. I don't buy, because.
So what do you think this scene is about then?
He's bribing him with a
negotiation tactic of like,
you
can get the boots, but Weevil is unexpelled?
Yeah, he's helping out Weevil.
But why?
Because they became buddies over the course of this episode. They were playing cards together. They were both ripping each other back and forth. It was a bonding thing. And then he found out he got expelled. And he's like, whoa, I didn't think he would get expelled. And this is like, all right, I didn't want it to go that far. So now he's helping Weevil. He's not helping himself. He's not even pushing anything.
No. But you don't think that this... So you don't think that this was all part of the plan? You think that the plan went awry when Weevil got expelled?
Yes, because here's the thing. Weevil's the one that brought up the plan and said, I don't know if you have the cojones for it, but Weevil doesn't know anything about the boots.
Oh, you're right.
If Weevil knew about the boots and was like, hey, I'm going to do this, get in trouble, and then you're going to do the boots thing and get me out of trouble, that would have been the part of that like wink when he's like winking. But I don't buy that, because when Logan sees him being expelled, why is he asking Duncan as if they didn't think that was going to be a part of what happened? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like none of that.
I mean, yeah,
none of that tracks.
Your logic makes sense.
But I don't know what the plan is then.
Yeah, I mean, this is a weird plan. I was thinking that like Logan would have filled in Weevil on all of this, where it's like,
yeah, but he's not even the one that came up with the plan. It was Weevil's plan.
But why would Logan be in? Maybe he's just like bragging to Logan about what the plan was going to be. But like, I don't understand what Logan would have had to do with Weevil's plan in the first place then.
I don't know what each person did. It wasn't like, hey, I don't know how to steal a car, but I can get it on a flagpole. I don't know how to get on a flagpole, but I can steal a car. Like Weevil could do the whole plan by himself. And it's more than two people. That's why I thought that was such bullshit when they were like, who helped you? I'm like, yeah, you might have to get like a whole team of people. Like 2 people didn't get a car on a flagpole, dude. That's like that's more than 2 people's worth of work.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man.
So, but here, this for me was Logan being like, okay, they were expelling him. That went further than I thought. I'm going to get him out of trouble. But at the same time, Weevil doesn't even seem like he cares that he got expelled. which was
that's
weird.
why I think it was all part of the plan.
It could be, but why would Weevil bring up the plan if Weevil doesn't even know that he has this ace in the hand to play? Like when Weevil recruits Logan,
Logan may have told him about the ace in the hole.
Well, then here's my question then. Why do we have that scene with Duncan and Logan looking like concerned that he got expelled? Like it's like that wasn't part of the whole idea. That scene.
Yeah, that's why I think that I feel like that scene makes no sense.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. For me, Logan is doing this to get Weevil out of trouble, and this has not been part of the plan. Him getting expelled and him trading the boots in was not part of the plan. Because I don't actually think Logan would want to ask his dad for the boots, to do this anyway. So I think he did that after the fact. I think this is all after the fact.
I don't think Logan would have cared to help Weevil. Like,
I think he does. They've been bonding this whole episode. They've been becoming friends.
Where they're like throwing the books off of the fucking. That was
and they're talking about like how they would like punish the teachers. Like, oh, I'd lock them in a thing. Oh, I'd do this because I want more like mental torture. Like they were bonding over their like hatred of the teacher. They became like frenemies. And then he saw him get expelled, and he was like, "That's a little too much." Because he didn't. That's why Logan said, "I didn't think they expelled people." And that's when Ryan Hansen says, "Not our people." So Logan doesn't even. This is the thing. Logan is such a privileged person that he doesn't even think that you could get expelled for doing something bad. That's why it hits him like, oh, well, I didn't want this to go. Because Logan has that weird, like, I'm a bad guy, but I'm not like that bad sometimes. And I think he's doing this to help him.
I think your version of the story could be possible, but then
the plan doesn't make any sense, though.
Yeah, the initial like, oh, I'll let you in on my plan. Yeah. I don't think you have the cojones to pull it off. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that doesn't make any sense. But Logan doing this is definitely, I'm going to give this guy the boots, not to prove that I did anything, because guess what? No one's going to say that you did anything. Yeah. You're trading him the boots for silence and to get the guy unexpelled. Because we'll talk about it in a later scene.
But then it also doesn't make sense that Weevil would be so nonchalant about being expelled, because he talks about like, I'm doing this because my grandmother. Like he wouldn't want to betray Abuela.
I guess he's putting on a front, but I don't understand what the wink is to Logan. Like, I got this. I'm going to go in here. I'm not going to rat you out. And it felt like Logan was ratting him out. It's a lot of moments that don't make sense, but I feel like Logan did this to get Weevil out of trouble, and I just don't know how this was part of their plan.
Yeah. Who knows, man? I'm very confused about the whole plan in general. And the execution of the plan, because that fucking car on the flagpole.
Yeah, what was their jobs for both of that?
Yeah. Who did that? Chardo? Anyway.
Chardo, you want back into the game? You want back into the family?
This is way back in. But so Veronica, she goes back to Sarah's job, and she's asking the coworker, like, hey, did you know anything about who the dad might be? Because I illegally called her doctor and got information that it's not Andres. And then the coworker goes, I don't know, maybe it was the guy who raped her.
Yo.
It's like, whoa, bro.
When that happened, I was just like, what? I was like, come on, man. What is this show doing?
It was so gross, dude. Like the way that he just so nonchalantly, like he's like, I got the good gossip. I mean, maybe it was the guy who raped her.
He just says it,
and he's just like fixing a shirt. He's like fixing a hanger. And he leans into Veronica. Maybe it was the guy who raped her. What?
Like a Law and Order investigation where the person keeps doing their job while they're being interviewed. He says that so nonchalant.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And Veronica is like, wait, what? And then the guy's like, yeah, don't you know? That's why Sarah left home.
And I was like, all right, I think I figured this out right here.
Yep. And then Veronica's like, wait a minute. Did she ever say who the rapist was? And he's like, no, she never said anything. You know what? I'm going to go. And he just like abruptly leaves. And Veronica's like, wait.
No, she turns like she's going to leave. And then she has an aha moment. And she turns back.
She goes back to him and she's like, wait a minute. you're the one who stole her diary. And the guy's like, what? No, I wouldn't do that. And Veronica's like, yeah, you would. You are jealous of Andre. And you're a jealous guy. And like, you wanted to see like if you could get your crack at Sarah. So you stole her journal to see like her deepest, darkest secrets. And maybe you could slither in and be the new boyfriend, the white and the knight in shining armor.
I love that she called it a diary and a journal in the same like statement.
Yeah. And then the guy's like, prove it. Basically, he's like, no, that's not true. I don't have the journal. And then Veronica's like, all right. Then she calls somebody.
I'm happy that you paid attention to that first scene when she mentioned a journal being missing or diary, because I did not pay attention to that scene. I was too wrapped up in the neighborhood. In that little self-sustaining community that they have at that apartment complex.
Well, I did forget to mention in the earlier scene with the coworker, he mentions that Sarah is like stayed at her place, or he stayed at her place or something.
Yeah.
And like that's how Veronica pieces this together. She's like, oh, when she stayed at your place or you stayed at her place, that's when you stole the journal. Mm-hmm. And then Veronica's like, all right, hold on a second. She's like, give me the journal. He's like, I don't have it. And she's like, all right, sure. So then she makes a phone call and we cut to like a few hours later. Mm-hmm. Veronica's just like on her car waiting outside the store. And the coworker's like looking like, damn, this bitch is still here? What the fuck?
I don't think I've seen like a girl sitting on the hood of her car like that and just driving around. Like that is some casual cockiness right there. Dude.
Yeah, dude. But the coworker's like, well, I'm not leaving while she's still out here. I'm going to keep doing my job. And like, oh, this is weird.
Well, he still got the hours. The shift's not over. I think he runs the store too. I don't think it's like, I think it's higher up. Because he's like, oh, she hasn't shown up to work. Like that's more of a slight
that could be
boss.
A coworker thing.
It feels like he's running. I feel like there's no one else even in that store though too. So
yeah, that's true. Especially in this scene where Weevil's biker gang shows up.
I get it, but yeah.
Yeah. So they show up. Veronica's like, hey, thanks for doing me this solid. I heard that you got kicked out of school, so you're not up to anything. You want to go intimidate this fucking guy that I don't like? And they're all like, yeah, sure, Veronica, you're cool. Even though the flashback is always telling me like, you're not one of us.
Yeah.
So the biker gang goes into the store and they start like throwing shit around.
They didn't even have to do that. They just needed to like stand in the store and just be Hispanic, and they would have been like, "Oh no, this is a problem."
Yeah,
in San Diego.
Yeah,
Neptune.
Vance. But we're not doing quote unquote on this show. But if we were, Weevil's right hand man, he puts on a white jacket and he says, oh, I didn't know the new Prada line is out.
Oh,
something like
that's the line you got. Mine was the one where Veronica does her. She has like one of these every episode where she's like, guys, remember, no white after Labor Day. And they're all like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so freaking cheesy. If I was that guy, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not giving you the journal. I'm just gonna call the cops.
Yeah.
The sheriff of the town hates the biker gang. There are a bunch of bikes parked on the street. If the cops show up, they will arrest them for disturbing the peace.
Not only that, sheriff of the town hates Veronica Mars.
Yeah.
This is a twofer.
Yeah. Just call the cop. And he's like, those, what is the gang called? What's the biker gang called?
They're like the Long Island, the something highway. What is it? PCHers.
The PCHers. He's like, the PCHers
biker gang.
The PCHers are here. All I would do is like, and I'm calling the cops, and we would be like, fuck, expulsion and jail. My grandmother will die. I got to get out of here.
So Veronica comes in after the biker gang. You know, they kind of like make a mess of the store. And she's like, all right, you got to give me that journal now? And the coworker / boss guy is like, So there's that. Yeah. Next scene, we get Andre leaving his art studio with that model, and they've got bags packed. And Keith is there. He's doing a little stakeout, and he's watching them. Now, I didn't understand.
Oh, we never brought up. Did we bring up that Veronica found a gun when she was snooping around?
Yes.
And plus, yeah, Chekhov's gun was there.
Yeah. Picked it up with her little pencil.
Yeah. Classic detective. I'm sure her dad taught her that somehow, right?
Yeah, of course. She should have showed up to Andre's apartment with tongs just so she could.
Just those gloves. I'm waiting for the season where she has the gloves. But remember that she picked that up with her pen because there's a point later that I want to mention.
So yeah, Andre's leaving the art studio with the model. They got bags packed. He's putting them in the trunk, and Keith is doing a stakeout. Keith sees them with the bags packed and goes, "What the hell?" And he grabs his gun. And this like startled me so much that I rewound and I was like, did I miss something? Like, but also Andre, I think, has the dog because we hear the dog barking in this.
Maybe. I just
we hear
maybe.
a dog barking.
Maybe.
But I rewound and I was like, oh shit, like, is there something more in the trunk? Did I miss something? No, it's just like they got bags packed. And then Keith is like, what the hell? He grabs a fucking gigantic gun.
This is an interesting gun grab because it establishes that he has a gun, which have we ever seen Keith with a gun in the series? Okay, so this is the first time we established that Keith is packing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is Andre and the model. Packing bags.
Yeah.
So they put the bags in the trunk. And then they drive off, and Keith is like, something fishy's going on here. Something real fishy. He follows them. Mm-hmm. He follows them to a train station. Andre is like taking the luggage with him, and the model's there. And then Keith comes up to Andre and the model, and he confronts them. Mm-hmm. And he's like, a little strange to be skipping town while your girlfriend is missing, you piece of shit. And Andre's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm dropping my friend off at the train station and carrying her bags. And then Keith is like, okay, my bad.
Yeah, he's like, well, go on. I'll be right here. And I thought she was just going to leave. But Andre and her walk towards the train.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, he's a gentleman. He's carrying her bags.
I know, but I'm like, he could be lying and just get on the train.
Yeah, that is true.
But yeah, he's not.
But yeah. Keith is like, whoops, egg on my face.
Yeah.
So then we go to this next scene. Where Weevil and Logan, they're back in detention. They got to clean up some graffiti that's on the walls, and the teacher's like, "You're gonna."
The vice principal's there.
Yeah, he's there. He's like, "You're gonna clean up these things, and Weevil, you're unexpelled, but this incident has gone on your permanent record." And Weevil's like, "Does my unexpulsion go on the permanent record?" The vice principal's like, "Yeah, you too. You just clean up this graffiti."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, where's why am I unexpelled and all this stuff?" Like the vice principal's like, "Money talks. I gotta get out of here. I've been bribed."
Yeah. So vice principal leaves. Logan and Weevil, they kind of dap each other up like, yeah, it all worked out. They start painting, and then Logan looks over at Weevil. And he notices on Weevil's arm.
It looked like it was on his side, but they say arm.
I thought it was on his back. Yeah,
it's like on his side or whatever, because he's got like a sleeveless shirt that has like the deep rip on the side. Like,
yeah.
But then he says, "Why do you have that on your arm?" But it definitely was on his body, but whatever.
But Logan notices that Weevil has a tattoo. It is a rose with,
I think it's a heart.
Lilly. Is it a heart?
I thought it was a heart.
Oh, I thought it was a rose. Whatever. It's some kind of romantic tattoo with Lily.
You don't put the name Lily in a rose. But maybe it is.
Oh, yeah. That would be clashing with flowers.
But maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I saw a rose. Vance saw a heart. Is this one of those blue and black dress, gold, white dress situations? Who knows?
That dress was gray.
Logan peeks and he sees that tattoo and he's like, what the hell is this? what the hell is this tattoo on your arm? Why do you have Lilly's name tattooed on your arm? And we was like, you want to know why? And Logan's like, yeah, I want to know why. And we was like, you really want to know why? And Logan's like, yeah, tell me why.
You can't handle the truth.
And then they just have like a breathe off where they're like, Lily's the name of my little sister, okay? And then Logan's like, oh, my bad.
I'm like, that'll be real easy to find out if that's true.
Right?
It
took him a very long time to come up with that lie. That's not suspicious at all.
A lot of Hispanic Lillys out there.
Yeah. It's like, bro, your name is Weevil.
What's his actual name?
Is
Eli.
Chardo.
His name is
Eli Navarro.
Yeah. And Lilly Navarro.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Maybe. Also, I was wondering, is there only one Lilly in this town?
Yeah.
There's only one Lilly in Neptune.
Yeah.
It goes from 0 to like 1 million so quick.
Yeah. Just like them breathing in each other's face went on for so long. And like Weevil being like, you really want to know? You want to know? You want to know? It's just like,
it's like it was like a bad play.
Yeah. It absolutely was. But yeah, that's Weevil. He's got a heart or rose tattoo with Lily's name. And that's why I think it's more than just tapping that ass. I think that Weevil was in love.
I'm not saying that it wasn't love, but I think there's another layer to it. It's something more that they bonded over than just like attraction to each other or something like that.
You think that Celeste, here's my prediction. Celeste hired Weevil to kill her?
No.
I'll predict that. That's why he's so heartbroken.
He's heartbroken because
that's my prediction at the end of this episode.
Because he was like, you know how I should commemorate the murder that I'm sad about? It's to tattoo the name of the person I murdered on my body.
Saying he was choking her out. He had one single tear coming from his eye. Don't worry, baby. It'll all be over soon.
All right, that's sure, dude. All right.
I don't know, man. We're fucking having fun here, Vance.
You have a lot of fun fantasizing about Lily's murder.
I mean, she had to be taken out. Like, no question about it. She had to. The manner in which it was done, I don't know yet.
You think they should have done that? You think they should have just given her a lethal injection, like put her down like a pet?
Yeah. I think that they hired the sniper that's looking out, that's trying to kill Veronica.
You think Keith could solve that? He's like, I think she was shot by a sniper. He's like, no.
I think Jake choked her out. It's like her brain is missing.
Jake threw a bullet so hard from his bedroom.
Oh my God. But yeah. So that's that scene. So then we go to Veronica, and Veronica's looking through Sarah's journal, and she's like, there's nothing in here. It's just a bunch of dumb bullshit art. There's no details of the sexual assault, only the aftermath.
But which is insane for Veronica to just be like reading this and just like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. This is fine.
Yeah. But what she does find is the drawing of a cliff that she's like, I recognize this cliff. I think I know where this cliff is. So she goes to this cliff.
How old is Sarah? like honestly, she's like,
yeah, I don't know.
Is she supposed to be like 18 or she's in her 20s?
I feel like she's like mid-20s.
She's like journaling like this and writing her favorite moments. Like nothing against that, but she's like, this is just such an easy like shorthand for them to figure out where she is. Her journal has all this information in it.
Yeah. But Veronica finds that exact cliff. She like holds it up. She's like looking at it like, oh yeah, that is this. This is a very detailed drawing. Did Angel do this? Buffy joke for everybody.
Yep.
So then Veronica's like looking around. She finds Sarah's car, and then she snoops around some more. And Veronica's like voiceover is like, yeah, she didn't handle the sexual assault very well. It's just like, bro, what?
I don't remember exactly what it said, but it's crazy when it gets brought up like this, but we know Veronica's past, and it doesn't it never seems to like trigger anything when she gets she gets confronted with something that would be like, oh, you would also be like, oh shit, this is like really fucked up and
this is serious. Yeah, but Veronica's like, she didn't handle it well like I did. I just didn't tell anybody and never investigated.
Yeah, I just became an underage private investigator. That's normal, right?
Yeah. Why don't you follow my path, Sarah? Dad's always hiring. But she finds Sarah, and she's like, her voiceover is like, yeah, that's why she followed Andre to Neptune and all this shit. And Sarah's just like chilling on this cliffside, and she's like, you found me. And Veronica's like, yeah.
You didn't go far at all.
Yeah. And then Veronica's like, yeah, your parents are here. They're looking for you. And Sarah says some cryptic shit like, I'm going to miss all of this. I was like, what's happening?
Well, I already knew, like, I think once that scene happened at the job, I like knew what was happening.
Yeah. So then Veronica's washing dishes at home, and Keith comes home, and she's like, hey, I found Sarah. And Keith's like, damn, you're a way better private investigator than I am. And we're proud of you. The whole apartment complex is proud of you. Like, you found the missing girl.
Yeah, but then Keith mentions that he doesn't want Veronica to be a PI.
Yeah.
He wants her to go to an Ivy League school and just work a executive job or something. Like, he's like, then put all this PI stuff behind you.
I don't want you falling into this life, Veronica.
And now my thought was, didn't he train her?
Yep.
Also, in this episode, you didn't even want her working this case, and then you relented immediately. And in this scene, you're like, well, I don't want you to go down the private eye road. I'm like, why do you have her working your cases at the front desk? Like, she's involved with lawyers.
Yeah. That lawyer who we haven't seen again, I loved that guy.
She's doing private jobs outside of him, too. Like, she's taking on private cases.
Yeah.
You have trained her to be a PI. What are you doing?
She does always usually kind of like ask Keith for help, though.
Yes, but she's also already doing the case. Like, she's taking down the Silicon Mafia. She's doing the con artist stuff. Like, she's doing all these other side things, like finding a car and drug dealers and steroids. Like,
yeah,
she's making enemies all left. Stealing stuff from the sheriff's department. Like, she is in it. And he's like, I don't want you to do this, but I taught you, whenever you find a gun, use a pen. Don't get your fingerprints on it. You have to be taught that.
Yeah. So then Keith says,
oh, boy.
I will assume.
Oh, boy. This is the worst thing I've ever. This is the worst thing I've ever heard him say.
Worst thing I've ever heard him say. Worst thing that I've seen him act. Like, the shot of this is so weird. The acting is so weird. The line is so weird.
It's creepy, dude. This is creep level. It's weird.
Yeah. We don't do quote unquote on this, but yeah. Keith is like, I just want to do some normal father and daughter stuff. And Veronica's like, what's that? And Keith goes, I just want to watch TV and have you rub my feet. And then he like wiggles his head like really weirdly and looks at Veronica like he's this downtrodden, like, you're my wife and you don't take care of my needs look.
That is the vibe that is just off-putting.
Yeah.
Because the line is, now let's do something normal fathers and daughters do. And she's like, buy me a pony, which makes her more like a kid than anything at that point. That like really infantilizes her even more. And then he goes, I was thinking I'd watch TV and you'd rub my feet. What?
Yeah, dude.
And then I in my notes, this is what my note says. I'll say it. Keith is weird.
Yeah, no, Keith is weird.
Keith is weird.
No wonder fucking what's her face? Lorraine. What is it?
Lillian.
Lillian. No, his wife?
What's
her name?
Lillian Reynolds, right?
Well, Leanne. No wonder Leanne left him for Jake Kane.
She didn't leave him for Jake Kane. She was with Jake Kane before she met him.
Yeah. And so we then go to...
Where's Keith from? Did he go to that high school?
I'm guessing not. Because he would have... I don't know.
Oh, we're definitely going to get a flashback of him in high school with young...
with a toupee.
Maybe they recast younger people for it. I don't know.
Yeah. Dude.
I would love it if they did the toupee thing though.
There's no fucking better distillation of Keith than your note. Just Keith is weird.
Yeah.
He's fucking weird, man.
He's weird.
So we then have Andre. He's looking for his keys in the house and he's worried that Sarah is going to leave again. And he's like, you can't keep doing this. And Sarah's like, I don't want to deal with my parents. Are they still here? And Andre's like, well, they're still here. Yeah, they want to see you. Like, we're going to have to talk to them at some point. And then Andre's like, I'm going to go take the dog for a walk. I'm going to give you a little sweet little forehead smooch.
When he took the dog for a walk, I was like, all right, that's so... I mean, it's so on the nose of like, okay, I'm leaving you here by yourself so we can get to the end of this episode, like the beginning of the episode.
But he does say, I do love you. He does love her.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, I mean, then we get, yeah. But I'm not the one that's always running. You know how you ran from Ohio to here, and that was like the end of your running, I guess. I don't know.
No, she does this all the time, Vance. Andre, I'm dumping this bitch.
Where does she run to?
I don't know. He says that she does it all the time, though.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
She's just staying in her car, it seems like.
Her running is like going to her car and then coming back to Andre's apartment. Like, what is...
Yeah,
She left Ohio with him, and they've been together since Ohio, it feels like. So I don't know where this she always runs come from. But whatever.
That's what he says at the art studio to Veronica. He's like, she always does this.
And I was like,
but like, why are you still with her, bro? Dump her. This is too much drama, you know?
They don't do a good job of like showing that he loves her. It's a lot of tell, don't show.
Yeah, I mean that's what the show's all about.
Yeah.
But so he's gonna go take a dog for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go to Veronica and Keith. They're eating, and Veronica's like, I still don't trust Andre. That guy gave me real bad vibes. Keith's like, why? Seems like a pretty decent guy.
You should have seen him at the train station carrying a lady's bags.
Yeah, and then the most ham-fisted.
I know.
Keith is like, he seems like a stand-up guy. Like, I talked to him. He doesn't even care that the baby isn't his. And then we get like a dun-dun, like Veronica at the fridge, like zoom in moment. Veronica's like, oh my God.
Keith says a man has to be very committed to a woman to raise another man's child.
Yep.
And Veronica goes into her head like, and then they call it out
so hard, and she fucking is like drooling, dude.
Yeah. And then Keith even's like, "Hey, where'd you just go?" Like the zone out is so real that it actually affects. Like he can see it.
Yeah, it's not like an internal thing. He's just like, you just froze for like a good 3 seconds with the fridge open. Like what happened?
She's like, "I'm gonna pluck your hair, and I know a DNA doctor."
Yep. Yep. And like the shot of Keith where he's like, you have to be a real upstanding guy to take care of somebody else's kid. It's like so close on his gigantic Charlie Brown head. And then the Veronica just like zoned out. I was like, no, do not tell me this is what is happening. When you said it on like 3 or 4 episodes ago, I was like, they wouldn't do that.
There's no other reason I could think of for the mom to have that visceral of a reaction to finding out who someone was dating.
God, dude, you're good.
I mean, we'll see what happens, but that was my thing. It was like, what could she possibly be mad about?
They're laying the foundation for that, Vance. I don't know what else it could be.
I know. That's why I said it. I was like, what else could it have been where you're like ready to drop the stuff you're cooking when you hear like, who's the guy you like at school? Like even Weevil's grandmother wasn't like that torn up when she found out about the Paris Hilton thing. It wasn't like, my God, like it wasn't enough for her to change her mind, but it wasn't like she didn't have that look of her like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Keith was letting her date Troy and he knew how bad that guy was. And he didn't even have that look on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're setting up for Just an absolutely gross situation.
Which, if true, why didn't they nip that way earlier?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess Veronica's mom
would have gone to like tell Kane to tell Celeste to break him up, but they don't want to keep
setting
it
up that Jake is Veronica's dad. Or yes. Oh God.
Hey, Veronica, you think you're not an 09er? You definitely are. It's in your blood.
Yeah. God, dude.
Wait for her to get that really rich season 2.
Yeah, she gets all the PI gadgets.
Yeah, the trust one.
Like,
yeah.
Doodle Inspector Veronica.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
So then we get Sarah. She's talking to her mom and her stepdad. She's talking about how somebody raped her. And she's like, you know who did it. It's you, stepdad. And he's like, what are you talking about? And they get into here's a word I haven't said in a while, Vance.
Here he goes.
Get into a kerfuffle. Sarah pulls out the gun. She's going to shoot the stepdad. Stepdad wrestles the gun away from her.
He does a little wax off.
Yeah, he does a Steven Seagal. Gets the gun away from her. He gets on top of her. He's like in full mount. Mm-hmm. He's got the gun pointed at her, but like Keith hears the kerfuffle going on and he goes up to investigate. He grabs his gun.
He doesn't grab it. He just has it on him apparently while he's at home because we don't see him grab it this time. He just keeps it in his waist now.
Right. It's just in his fucking front. He does a little lift up to intimidate.
A little waggle.
Yeah. He goes up to investigate, sees what's going on through the window, pulls out his piece, shoots Max Scorpio, the stepdad, shoots him down.
To the shoulder. Classic shoulder injury he'll live.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like he'll live based on like the stretch. Like they got him covered fully in the blanket.
Well, when we see in the opening scene, 2 people get stretchered out.
Yeah.
And it's like precaution for Sarah.
Yeah.
She's being stretchered out just for like stress and the baby and checking that out. And then this guy because he got shot.
Yep.
And yeah, once I heard what happened to Sarah in that story in the store, I was like, okay, it's the stepdad. Because my whole thing was like, she's upset because the mom's coming in town. She's definitely on the run for something, right? I was like, I'm waiting for the stepmom to be crazy. Then we get that bombshell of the sexual assault. And I was like, oh, it's obviously the stepdad because the mom was like, something around her senior year, she just started acting crazy.
Yeah,
and I thought Keith,
time when I remarried.
Yeah, and I thought Keith might put it together at some point. That's why I thought Keith was like starting to get something when he was like, I'll do what I can. Like, I thought he was like, I don't trust this family, but he actually didn't have anything there. That was just him being Keith.
He is the bumbling idiot detective. Maybe he did need to get taken out because he's a bad detective.
He's good, but I could see why. You know what? He fits as like a small town sheriff that like he's a Columbo type where you underestimate him because he's so goofy seeming, but he actually does know his shit.
Here's what it is all of his investigations and private eye work that happens off screen, he's great at. But everything that happens on screen is bad.
Yeah.
Like everything, like he just impersonates police officers all the time.
Or people, And I don't understand how he can impersonate anybody in the town where everyone should know who he is, roughly.
Yeah.
But
anyway, so he shoots the stepdad, and stepdad's taken out on a stretcher. It's precautionary, taking Sarah out.
Veronica sees that. This is a nitpick of mine. Okay. They are the upstairs neighbors, right?
Yep.
Directly above them. Veronica somehow comes outside and is looking across the way at Keith with the gun pointed into the window.
She has to go all the way out that way to go upstairs to walk up the stairs, though.
Yeah, but like it's not across from. It's like she's not looking from like behind him. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's on the same side. She's like across from him looking.
It's like an L. So like where she enters is like here.
Okay.
Like here's her, and then there. This is terrible podcasting, audio podcasting.
Wait. Okay, so you're saying it tracks, right?
Yeah, I think the geography does track with this.
Cool. I was like, that's right above her. Where did she run up to the other side to look at this? And Keith is just pointing his gun, like real cop-like, and fucking he just unloaded through their window.
Yeah, it's wild. But then Veronica asks how Sarah's doing, and Keith's like, she's going to be okay. And then Veronica's last line of the episode in her voiceover is, I'm starting to wonder if some things are better left buried.
Now, the problem that I had with this ending, and it kind of goes back to the beginning, Veronica's blaming herself for all this stuff that's just happening, right?
Yeah.
Which doesn't track to me because, one, Sarah did not have to go back to the apartment when Veronica found her. Veronica did not handcuff her and bring her back to the apartment. She just said, hey, your parents are here.
Yeah.
That's it. Veronica did not tell her anything different than what she already knew. Veronica found her on the beach. Sarah came back of her own accord after that.
Yeah.
Second, it's also not Veronica's fault that Andre told Sarah's parents about the pregnancy.
Yeah.
So, one, my thought is it's a tough conversation, but Sarah could have told Andre about it, or she could have told her boss that she confided in, or her employee. No one wants to bring up the sexual assault stuff, and that's not an easy thing to bring up. But I will say, Andre knows that the baby's not his.
Yeah.
And he's willing to stick with you, and you guys traveled all the way across the country together. Now, well, not all the way across, they were in Ohio, but a decent amount to the coast. I'm just thinking I don't know, it's just something there. But anyway, it's not Veronica's fault that Andre told the parents. Andre doesn't even know that. He was like, why would you not tell your mom that you're pregnant or whatever?
Yeah.
So that's the thing for me. It's Veronica blaming herself for this, but she has done nothing to make any of this happen.
Yeah.
She hasn't even told anybody about the sexual assault.
Yeah.
She didn't tell her dad about it. The boss knows about it, but he never told Andre about it. And then there's also, just because there's 20 plus episodes in the season or whatever, we get no follow up on a Lilly Kane case that ended last episode, which is fine because it's weekly viewing. This is not on demand era of TV where people just are tuning in. Sometimes you watch episodes out of order. You can have a one-off here. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I do think Veronica's really hard on herself, but she did nothing. If Veronica was not here for any of this, all of this stuff would have still happened exactly the same way.
Yeah, it's like Indiana Jones. You know that theory that Indiana Jones.
I thought you were going to expand upon that.
No,
I know that theory. Yeah, but I'm saying it's a
for
podcast.
The listeners,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The theory for the Indiana Jones movies is he could have not been in any of everything would have played out exactly how it would have played out. Without Indiana Jones being there.
Yeah, they would have opened it if they found it, and it would have done the same thing.
They would have opened the Ark of the Covenant. All of their faces would have melted. Nothing different would have happened.
Yeah. You didn't stop.
Now we have
yeah.
But you know what? I don't like the character assassination of Andre. Very, very unwarranted.
It's so forced to make him seem like the bad guy.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but yeah, that's the episode. The Girl Next Door. I'm real.
Wait, you don't like the possible incest nature of this?
Yeah. Is it incest if it's half siblings?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to piece that together. I was like, is that? I know. Yeah. Yikes. Anyway, well, I think we're going to get some more unfortunate answers next episode, Vance. Next episode is titled Like a Virgin.
Oh, man, I don't want to watch.
Dropped his head.
Between this and Dollhouse, I thought we were getting more lighter, ridiculous fare, but my God. I don't even want to make a prediction on this.
Yeah, I just read that and I was like, oh, no.
Got it. Wallace shows back up. He wants to get tickets to the Madonna concert
Yeah, I forgot about Wallace.
You forgot about Wallace when he was tied to the flagpole. No one cared. But when a car's on the flagpole, we gotta find out who did this.
Yeah.
Wallace.
That was also weird. Weevil fucking loves his flagpole shit.
He's a flagpoler. So Wallace is back and he wants to take his girl, Georgia. He wants to take her to a Madonna concert and he needs Veronica to figure out who scammed him with the tickets.
Scalp tickets.
Yeah, and then fake. So Veronica's on that. That's what I want to happen.
That's what I want. I want that storyline too. I don't want to predict what I'm actually thinking is going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh man. We're going to go the Reservoir Dogs route. Somebody gets fucked by a guy that's his dick is so big that it makes him feel like a virgin again.
Wait, what?
That's the whole conversation that Quentin Tarantino has in Reservoir Dogs, because he's doing a breakdown of the song Like a Virgin. He's like, it's not about.
I do love that you bring up Reservoir Dogs so much because I do not remember that movie as much as you do.
It's a great movie. I mean, how often do I bring it up?
You bring up Reservoir Dogs a bunch.
Really?
Yeah, you do.
It's one of the 6 movies I've seen. So that tracks. If it's not Jurassic Park, I guess it's Reservoir Dogs.
It really is.
I don't think I've mentioned it that much before at all.
Huh. If you mentioned it more than twice, that's more than enough. Yeah.
Well, in that movie, Quentin Tarantino goes on this whole rant about how the song Like a Virgin is about Madonna having sex with a guy whose dick is so big it makes her feel like she's losing her virginity again.
And that's your prediction?
Yes. Somebody has sex with somebody who's got such a fucking hog that it makes them feel like a virgin. Vance, don't make me predict what the actual episode's about.
I know you would. I don't think that's much better. I was like, I'm trying to get away from all of that. You're like, oh no.
We all know it's going to be some shit about Veronica discovering how she lost her virginity.
No,
it's episode 8.
It's going to be Wallace and his Madonna tickets.
All right, I hope so. But that is a wrap for this episode, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. Hop on our Discord. Let us know what you thought. If you know what the fucking Weevil Logan plan is more solidly than me and Vance do, drop a line.
Yeah, I think it's kind of
just as confusing.
I think it's kind of like the Wanda thing. A consensus that we had on Discord for last week's episode was that the Wanda storyline starts to fall apart with the whole she was a narc and she had a possession case. It's all just it comes out of nowhere, and it's so. I thought the messaging last week was really strange because Wanda had really good thoughts about the disproportionate treatment of people.
She's got a great political career. Jake Kane needs to start backing her.
She doesn't, though. She had a great point, and then everyone was like, well, she narked once, so you know what? Let's just go with the people that have disenfranchised us. And I was like, oh, wait, what's the messaging of the show?
And isn't that just politics, Vance? Ain't that just what it is?
Wanda had a good point,
you get called
she's
Sleepy Joe one time, and then you're replaced with Kamala.
There was a little more to that than that, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just joshing.
When you're narcoleptic, it's tough.
Yeah. Join Discord. Let us know what you thought about the episode. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/boyswatchingbuffy. We're covering Dollhouse. Interesting episode of Dollhouse this week. Jennifer's Body is the movie this month. Be on the lookout for that. If you want to get a shout out, Apple Podcast 5-star rating and review, Spotify 5-star rating, take a screenshot of it, send it into us. Amazon wishlist, merch, Instagram, TikTok at Boys Watching Buffy, boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com. And stay tuned next time for when we talk about Like a Virgin.
Let's do something normal fathers and daughters do.
Buy me a pony?
I was thinking I'd watch TV and you'd rub my feet.
Yeah, that's normal.
Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.